Hey everyone, welcome to Ascension Brotherhood. I'm Conrad, and this podcast is all about diving into the journeys of people who have built their success from the ground up, proving that no matter where you start, anything is possible. And today, for our very first episode, I'm thrilled to have Dean Kozora with me. For those who don't know, Dean is a leader in the sales world. He's a dedicated family man, and he is someone who turned his life around in a way that is truly inspiring. Dean, thank you so much for being here, man. I cannot wait to get into your story.
Dude, thank you so much, man. They say if you're not first, you're last. So just know that anyone that comes after me, you are last.
Yeah, bro. Some people save the best for the last. I'd rather to start with the best. But yeah, let's dive in. I know that you got into the high ticket sales in 2017, but can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? Like, how was life for Dean before you got into the online world?
Dude, before I get into the online world, man, and we can go back as far as you want with this, because there's some fun before it, I promise. Before I got into the online world, man, like I was just a college student. Um, I'll take you back just to give slight context, and we can dive in if you want to. Dude, I got clean in 2014 and drug addict, should have been dead, blah, blah, blah. Crazy story there. But my counselor in rehab told me that she's like, don't go back to school. It's too much. And so, like, what did I do? I was like, fuck you, I'm going back to school. So I went back to college like pretty quick after. So like before getting into the online world, I was in college, dude. I was just a college student working my ass off, going to school. And it was only to prove her wrong. Like I didn't really want to go to school, but there was this like thing inside of me that wanted to prove her wrong. So just that one conversation, it was like a 20-minute conversation, like freaking 30 days after I stopped using drugs, it stuck in my head. And I was like, I have to prove this lady wrong. Her name was Kate. I have to prove Kate wrong. And not for her, but more so for me, because someone's like, don't do it. I'm like, I'm going to do it. So, dude, I was a college student, man. Like my first couple of years of college, I worked full time. I worked like 60 hours a week. And I was driving to school early in the morning to go to an 8 a.m. class. This was at a community college. Going to class from 8 a.m. until noon, getting back into work at 1, staying there till midnight. And it was just like every day. It was a grind, dude. Then I actually went to a regular school, normal college. The first year I didn't work because I was like, dude, I got all this money, didn't realize it was a loan. So I didn't really work. I just like skated through and cheated through school. And then I got into sales, and it wasn't even sales in the online world, man. Like I was selling apartment buildings to college kids. And then I got out of that and I started selling chiropractic adjustments in malls. I was that annoying guy that used to stand there at a kiosk I set up in 30 seconds. And I would just like catcall you from across the hallway, or at a gym. You're walking in, I'm calling you over, I'm bringing you over in grocery stores. Like, dude, I was like doing true direct sales. And it was awesome, actually, dude. Like a lot of people are like, oh, door to door direct. Dude, I had a great time because I was somewhere different every day. I was talking to random people every day. I was yelling to random people every day. I had something that people wanted and needed, and I was 100% in charge of what I made. So it was a really cool time, and I had a great freaking time doing it. Because I was literally just somewhere different. I wasn't in the same place. I was talking to people. I was selling things. Dude, I was being me, following a process. And I loved it, dude. Like if they had a place down here in Tennessee, I probably would have never got into the online world. Because like the base salary was solid at the time. The commission was okay. Like it was a good job. I probably never would have ended up in the online world if I hadn't moved. So like
where was it?
That was back in Illinois.
Illinois. Okay.
Yeah, back in Illinois, dude, I was just like all over the region that I was in charge of, just like driving around, finding gyms, finding grocery stores, finding events, going into malls. Like, bro, it wasn't like a true grind because I've definitely worked harder after that. But like the whole idea behind it, like find the place, get in the place, set up at the place, talk to people, it was like the true hunt. Like you have to find your tree stand before you actually put up your shotgun to hunt. So I had to find what tree would fit my tree stand, what person would allow me to go into that tree. Dude, it was great, man. Like a lot of people hate that kind of stuff. Dude, it taught me so fucking much. It taught me how to actually communicate with random people. And that's a hard fucking thing to do.
It is, man, And they say that right now the inbound closers are not true salespeople, because they don't know how to hunt for their own opportunities. They expect things to be easy.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you are what you say you are, man. You can be whatever you want. All I know is if there's an opportunity to make more money and I have time, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So like if you just want to sit there behind your computer and take calls, like, bro, feel free. Like no one's stopping you if that's the requirement of the job. But just know that someone's going to come in there and take some of your leads. I would.
Okay.
I've outperformed people on offers, not because I was better than them at sales, but because I would go take their shit if they didn't follow up with them. I would scrape their pipeline as soon as I saw, like if it was like a 3-day process, they didn't have any notes in or follow up. I knew when it was coming up and I'd go scrape their shit. And it's like, well, bro, like that's the process, so you can be an inbound closer. I'm going to be making fucking money. I'm going to do what I have to do to make money because that's all I care about.
Who's willing to do more than you, huh?
There's so many people out there willing to do more, but the one thing I do know is to be good in this space, in this world, just in general, is like you just have to work a little bit harder than everyone else. And it's really not that hard. Like if you were at McDonald's every day, you'd work your 8-hour shift. If no one was ordering a Big Mac, you'd be fucking scraping the grill. If the grill was clean, you'd be sweeping the floor. If the floor was clean, you'd be cleaning the bathroom. So it's like, dude, work your 8 hours, like actually work it, do things the whole time minus some small breaks and lunch, and you'll inevitably be ahead of everyone. It's like not that fucking hard.
Yeah. Yeah. So I want to go back for a second because before you started sharing your story, you mentioned something about struggling with the addiction. Could you elaborate a little bit more on that?
You want a story? You want a thought? Like how deep you want to go?
Like if you could tell a little bit more in the form of a story, like what exactly has been happening in your life?
Yeah, dude. So graduated high school 2011, and I could say hanging out with the wrong crowd. I would have found the shit no matter what, dude. I would have found the shit no matter what. Because like the way my brain operates is it's extremities. It's all or nothing. Right. So like I smoked a lot of weed in high school, right? A lot of us did. It was a great time. But as soon as I got out and I had a little bit more freedom, I was like, well, this isn't enough. I'm going to smoke more weed. I'm going to do more things. And all of that led to me popping a metric fuck ton of Xanax. And anyone wondering what a metric fuck ton is, like probably 15 to 20 Xanax bars at a time, multiple times a day, which also led to doing some heroin, kind of doing whatever was in front of me, but it was always Xanax, a little bit of heroin mixed in there whenever I could find it or whenever it was just like ready and available. And to be honest, dude, like I did that for a couple of years every day. And the fun part about that is like the amount of drugs that I would take on a day-to-day basis would kill a normal human being. Like if I took it now, I'd be dead, right? Maybe because there's fentanyl in it, blah, blah, blah. But if a normal human being took one dose that I would take a couple times a day, they would overdose and die, right? So like, yeah, I built up to it. You can talk about it however you want, but I was doing that multiple fucking times a day. And what I was doing, like, was not healthy in any sense. But the premise of that is like, bro, drugs are expensive, right? When you're doing drugs, you're not quite a good person. You're not a good human. You're not a good worker. You're not a good employee, right? So at the end of it, for quite a bit of time, man, I wasn't employed, but I was still getting high, right? I was still getting high. I was still getting all the drugs I needed. The question there is how, right? You don't have money. You don't have a job. You have no income. Dude, I found a way every single fucking day, every day, right? Here's a fun little story. And you want to go deep? Like you want to go into some fucked up shit?
I mean, we can go as deep as you want.
I don't know who the listeners are, but like we might scare them off. But dude, here's a hack, man. If you have a magnet and you bring it into a jewelry cabinet, anything that actually sticks to it is not real. So like I would go over to my mom's jewelry cabinet. I would go to friends' houses with a magnet and use like that in their jewelry cabinet. And I would steal from them. Dude, I took everything out of my mom's jewelry case. She had a fucking large jewelry case. I pawned everything in there. Dude, I would go into friends' parents' rooms, friends' parents' safes, and like I would just sneak my way into there. Dude, I was a real piece of shit, right? I was doing bad things. But I always found a way, right? At some point, like friends didn't want to hang out. I would find ways and means to get what I needed. It doesn't matter how I had to do it, who I had to rob, what I had to steal, what I had to give up for it, how I needed to do it. I would wake up every single day, Conrad, with nothing, no gas in the car, no drugs, withdrawing. And within a few hours, I would have money and I'd be high as a kite. I had nothing. So like I had this knack to turn nothing into something every single day. Every single day. I'd have food, right? Food at the end of the day, I'd be able to eat something. But I started with nothing, right? And it came to the point, man, in 2014 where I didn't recognize that my mom was also like an addict. I just had no idea. I thought like my mom drinking and smoking a little bit was normal, but come to find out a little bit after that, she was in recovery for 18 years and she relapsed. She just never told me. And I was like, my mom's partying with me. This is great. Dude, May 5th, 2014, I lost her. And I was living at my dad's house that time, and I didn't know what to do. That's where the story gets kind of fun. I didn't know what to do, dude. I was kind of just like confused, lost, upset, right? Drugged out. And I was like, this is it, man. Like, I probably don't want to live anymore. So I took an obscene amount of drugs. Like, dude, I had a full bottle of Xanax, like a full fucking pill bottle, tipped it into my mouth, swallowed it, a couple gulps. Like, it was a lot of pills, dude. Like, I don't know the exact number. I don't remember. Chased it down with a liter of vodka, and I laid down, man. And this is where, like, the true fucked upness gets, is I was perfectly okay, and I remember the thought. I was perfectly okay with dying. Like, I laid down, and I knew for a fact that I was not going to wake up. But the fucked up part there is, like, I was okay with it. Like, I specifically remember that thought and how it was actually very calming, right? So I woke up the next morning, not even much later, like 6-7 hours. I wasn't even high when I woke up, which was kind of upsetting to me. And I had this realization. I was like, holy fuck. I was like, I should be dead right now. Like, I was actually okay with dying too. And that was kind of a slap in the face. I didn't stop there. I stopped maybe 5 months later, but it was a slap in the face that, hey man, the way I'm going, I'm going to die as well. Right? I lost my uncle to the disease of addiction. I lost my mom to the disease of addiction. And like, I mean, dude, quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, it's a duck. I'm an addict, right? What happens to addicts if they do drugs for too long? They'll die, right? I knew it was going to happen. It was inevitable. So like 5 months later, I ended up stopping. And the only reason I stopped is because my grandma bought me a one-way ticket down to Florida to go to a detox center. And my thought process was very simple. That could work. If it doesn't, at least I'll be able to live on the beach and get high. And I got down there, and we can talk about stories, this, and that, how it worked. But I just saw someone who I identified with. They looked like me, they talked like me, they dressed like me, and they had a car that was actually pretty nice. It actually wasn't super nice, but I thought it was at the time. And I was like, well, this dude's got it all. All he did was stop using drugs. So I started listening to what he said, right? I found a mentor, right? They call him a sponsor, but I found a mentor, a sponsor. And dude, honestly, like, I'm alive today because of that guy, because he showed up at a meeting and spoke, and he would drive 45 minutes one way to pick me up, 45 minutes to a meeting, 45 minutes back to drop me off. He did that every fucking day. Right. So like, I don't want to say I owe him my life, but I'm alive today because of him. Right. So like, all of that happened. There's multiple occasions in there with me, like trying to kill myself, with me overdose, like all this shit. Like, there's multiple occasions I can probably count on 2-3 hands I should have died. But I really do think that there's a reason that I'm here. I don't know what the reason is yet. What I do know is I would like to find out. But like, the premise, the idea behind that story is like, I shouldn't be here. I am here. But I think I'm able to do as well as I am today is because I learned how to find something in nothing every fucking day. I was a crafty son of a bitch, right? I will find something even if there's nothing to be looked through. Right? I will make a way. And like, that ideology has carried me into school, out of school, into sales, out of sales, into business. Like, I will always find a way. You don't need to give me things, because I'm going to make and find a way no matter what. You can throw me into a team. I'm not willing to sell for anyone right now. But like, you could throw me into a team and not give me any leads, and I will probably close more than half the team. I will find a fucking way, right? But that's just how my brain's wired, right? So like, a lot of people are like, oh, that sucks. Dude, that was a blessing. Going through all that shit was a blessing. Like, it taught me what true perseverance was, right? I mean, there was a period in there where I was fucking homeless, living in my car. I would still get high. I still found a fucking way. I still found somewhere to sleep. I still found drugs. I still found money, right? So like, my thought process there is, if I could do it in this fucked up situation, why can I not do it sitting in this desk in my office?
If you can figure it out in a fucked up situation, you can definitely figure it out, in a perfect setting. You know what I mean?
Bro, this shit ain't that hard, man. People are wanting to talk to you. People have said, I want your thing. So it's like, yeah, fuck, we'll fucking talk, dude. I'll find a way. We'll connect. Yeah. It's like, it's not that hard, right? And that's kind of like, we can dive into pieces of that if you want, but that's just like, not high level, but medium level, like, part of the story. And like, it's a big part of who I am.
I have one question regarding what you said before. I know that you mentioned that you moved to Florida, you found a mentor, but was there ever like a single moment of realization that made you commit to a different path after years of struggling with addiction?
I started to see forward progress, right? And what it was, man, truthfully, is I started going to the gym. right? I started going to the gym, and I was a gymnast for a while. Like before I started using drugs, I was a gymnast, and started going to the gym, and I started to see progress, a little bit of progress. And I was like, well, dude, this is fucking cool. I was like, I'm seeing a direct result of me doing something, right? So like I saw progress there. And so I don't want to say I transferred my addiction, but like I took the habits of needing to do progress and do more, and I plugged that into the gym as an outlet, right? So like the one thing that really helped me and helps me still, man, is like I'm progressing in the gym on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. Like I still do it 10 years later. I do it consistently. Like I'm always in the gym. I'm always eating correctly. I'm always training. I'm always doing like I have to be doing these things because that progress is something that keeps my mind sane. I've tried to stop multiple times. I've tried to stop bodybuilding multiple times. But as soon as that focal point isn't there, bro, I go fucking crazy. And it's not that I like go, oh my God, like I should be in a mental institute, but like I'm not able to focus on the things I need to focus on. I'm not able to be a present father. I'm not able to be a present business owner. I'm not able to be a present husband, right? So like I need that in my life because it's been such a staple that it keeps me grounded. But that's the one thing, dude. Like I started seeing progress and I was able to transfer the insanity from this thing to another thing. And I don't think I'll ever lose it on that thing, truthfully.
Okay. Okay. There's like so much energy being accumulated with you that you need to allocate it somewhere. Otherwise you are going insane, basically. So you need to kind of direct it in a constructive way.
Yeah. There needs to be some sort of progress. Like if I don't see forward progress or movement in some area, like I just don't operate the same. Like I'm always looking for more and better, right? That's an addict thing, more. There's a saying in one of the books, man, one is too many and 1,000 is never enough. Like once you start, you can never get enough, right? If I started drinking or doing any kind of drug right now, like Pandora's box is open. The only thing that's going to stop me is jail or death, right? Those are the two things that will stop me, right? So like it's the same thing with working out, right? I'm not going to jail or dying, but like there needs to be that constant progress of more and better because I'm always chasing it. And as soon as I stop, it's like that's when the insanity kicks in and my brain looks for things.
Yeah, I can kind of identify with it a little bit. I have really obsessive personality myself. So like either do something or I don't. Like if I do something, I'm going all the way in.
Yeah, dude. A lot of us have it, man.
I watched one of your podcasts, I believe it was with the James Lawrence, and you said something that I really could relate myself to. You said that a lot of successful people have like a deep hole inside them that they're trying to fill by becoming more and more successful.
We're all fucked up, dude. We're all
fucked up. Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
It's funny, man. You know some of them, right? You know some of the good salespeople, the successful business owners. They're all fucked up, dude. They're all fucked up in some sort of way. They're not drug addicts, but like we all have this like need for more, and there's no more that's ever going to fulfill that need. Some people chase money, right? A lot of us chase progress. A lot of us just chase like doing the goddamn thing. We're all fucked up, dude. All the people that are good, like the better you are, the more fucked up you tend to be. And that's not the case for every industry, and it's not everyone in this industry. But if you start talking to some of the people that are doing well and you start cracking some jokes with them, you start to see where they're actually at. And I know you know a couple of the ones I'm talking about. Like we're all there, right? It doesn't mean we're bad people. It's just like, bro, like we have a little bit of obsessive compulsive behavior. Like we might be a little bit like disease oriented. We might be crazy. Our brain chemistry might be off. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is it doesn't make us bad people. It doesn't make us fucked up people. We just have something inside of us that we harness well enough to do better with it.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it's revenge, whether it's trauma, whether it's hate, whether it's just like addiction, who knows? But like we have this fucking thing inside of us that it's the black mamba, bro. It's caged at times, but you can't turn that motherfucker off.
That is true. That is true. At the end of the day, we're just a bunch of fucking degens. That's it.
Yeah, 100%, dude. 100%. It's great.
Can I ask, like, I'm sorry to interrupt you here, but can I ask, like, what was your first step in the online world?
Yeah, dude. When I moved to Tennessee, we moved with nothing. But I had this job that was supposed to start selling logistics. And as soon as I moved,
can I ask, like, it was just you or someone else?
My wife, my fiance at the time, my wife and I, we moved down here with our two dogs, and I had a job selling logistics that was supposed to start a month after we moved. And I got here and it was on the end of COVID and, well, not the end of COVID, the beginning of COVID. And they sent us an email as soon as we moved and they're like, hey guys, we're retracting the position. We can't start anyone due to COVID. So I was literally like, I was still on unemployment, right? Because like I lost my job in COVID, whatever. So I was cool with it, but I was like, I need to find something. And I applied to a bunch of places. And I remember this place called Traffic and Funnels called me. I had no idea who they were, what they did. This guy named Taylor Welch. And they interviewed me and I didn't know what they were, but they offered me $45,000. And that was $5,000 more of a salary than I was making at the previous place. And I was like, oh my God, dude, I'm rich. And so like I got in there and had no idea what the online world was. All I knew is they were paying me $45,000 a year. And I got in and I started to see what they were doing a little bit. But what really caught my interest is I would see the salespeople come in balling out, having a good time. Like one of the guys told me once he made $17,000 that month and I laughed at him and I'm like, dude, people don't make that much money. That's not real. And like I kept calling people out and then I got with the sales coordinator and he showed me their pay stubs and I was like, holy fuck. Right. But during the process of like going through all that, dude, I was helping manage Sales Mentor, one of the sales training programs, right? I helped them build it. I helped them build the back end. I helped them build the upsell. I was managing all the clients there. Like I'm over here teaching people sales, just learning from what I learned in the office. And that was my introduction. And after they didn't give me what I wanted, when I built a really nice program for them on the back end, I wanted a lot more money. They said no. I was like, I'm just going to go into sales, dude. Like, fuck this. So like my introduction was like I got in on accident, just accepting a job that I needed. But because of it, I got in the right ecosystem, right? I got in proximity with people who were doing the goddamn thing, even though I didn't know what the thing was. But by being around them, having my desk in the sales pit around all the sales reps, I started to understand it. Like I started to get it. I would stop people after their calls. Hey man, you said this. Like, why did you say that? Hey man, you did this during your call. Why did you do that? And I started to just like pick their brains. So I learned sales by just sitting there and observing and like half-ass listening while I was working. And that was my intro to the online world. And like, as soon as they didn't give me what I wanted, I was like, okay, I'm going to go sell and make a bunch of money then. And the funny part is I didn't. Like, I didn't make a bunch of money. It took me a while to have my first 10K month, but bro, I fucking hustled. I was working like 12, 13-hour days every day, every single day. And it took me
for the sales mentor, or you did
after I quit. After I quit, I was selling for a fitness company.
Okay.
I was selling for a fitness company, and like I was just taking a bunch of inbound calls and making outbound dials and messaging people on Instagram and messaging people on Facebook. My first call would be at 8 a.m. My last call would be at like 9 or 10 p.m. I was hustling, dude. Weekends, like you need me, I'm there. You got some calls coming in, I'm there. And like, it's not that I was killing it by any sense of the imagination, but like I was working my absolute fucking ass off, like every fucking day. And like, it took me 8 or 9 months to actually hit my first 10K month. I remember one week, and I've shared the story before. One week I made $1,800 and it was the most money I'd ever made in a week. And my wife and I went out to this place called Wild Ginger, and bro, I got steak and sushi. And that was the best meal I've ever had in my entire life. I earned that fucking meal, right? I earned that shit. I got a $40 steak and 2 sushi rolls that were like $12. Like we spent like $150 on dinner. I dropped that credit card like a fucking boss. I'm like, I got it. Like, babe, I got it. And dude, it's hilarious, right? But like, I've never felt as good as I felt in that moment. I made a lot more money, but like actually making something and knowing that I did it for the first time, bro, that was worth any fucking amount in the world. Like that feeling right there, dropping that card after the week I'd had, I was like, man, I am fucking Jesus himself. It was.
I feel you. I remember making my first $5,000 in a month after working 5 years in construction, making like $3,000 per month. I mean, I felt like a king.
Isn't it funny, dude?
I took my wife, and I remember we bought like a pair of glasses that cost $200. I mean, the best feeling ever.
It's funny, dude, because I don't know exactly what you make, but I'm pretty certain, right? And it's quite a bit above that. None of it feels as good as it did that first time.
That is true.
Like I can tell you, like our business, like we're hovering above the $200 a month mark cash, and it does not feel as good now as the $1,800 I made that week. I can tell you for a fact it does not feel anywhere close to as good. Like it actually feels worse. So it's wild, man.
I don't doubt it. But actually, this is something that I want to talk about because, like you mentioned, that you initially got into the online space back when COVID hit, but you pretty quickly went from sales rep to sales manager to successful business owner. Right now, hosting events for hundreds of people. And from the journey that I follow you, I mean, we are also friends, so we talk, we meet each other on the events. But throughout this journey, it seems like everything comes to you naturally, from the content that you put out, for how you communicate with people, with your audience. But I'm pretty confident that, there have been some roadblocks over the past 4 years. So like, what would you say were the biggest roadblocks that you have faced? And like, what exactly did you do to overcome them?
So I partnered in a sales or a fitness consultancy soon after I quit Sales Mentor, and I was selling on the side the entire time. And I partnered in this fitness consultancy to help the sales side. And I knew nothing about sales management, but I was like, I'm going to build and manage this team. Right. And bro, that was my ticket to make $1 million a year. I knew it was going to happen. Spoiler alert, it didn't fucking happen. I mean, we did well into the 7 figures, but I did not make $1 million a year there. I did not make a lot of money. The business wasn't that profitable. A lot of work, but like that was my ticket. And while we were running that, dude, I was selling for 2 places the entire time. So I was running this business with them, running the sales team, taking sales calls for this fitness business, taking sales calls for this, what is it called? This health offer, this detox offer, right? I built the sales team for the fitness offer. I didn't do very well. I did a piss poor job. Built the sales team for the detox offer, did a little bit better of a job because like leads were easy. So like anything I did worked. And like the big roadblock I had was we came to the realization that shutting down the fitness consultancy was the move. And during the entire time running that, like I felt like I had to conduct myself professionally to win. Mm. I really felt like I had to, man. So like when we shut it down, I had this weird realization that I don't give a fuck. I would let some things slip before it, and we had clients refund on the sales consultancy on the fitness offer because they would see it and they would be like, yeah, this guy, I don't want to talk to this guy. He likes Donald Trump, this and that. And like I had a realization after we shut that down, and it was kind of just like an internal thing. I was like, I don't give a fuck about how anybody feels about me. Right? The roadblock was like I actually cared at the time what people felt about me. But I had this realization, and it was pretty much for the better or worse. It was you're either going to love me or hate me, and I don't care which one it is, because I think proximity is good, but proximity to people who are aligned with you is better, right? You can be around good people, and it'll help, but you can be around good people who are similar to you, have similar beliefs, similar values. They respect you, you respect them. That's better. And so like, I didn't give a fuck how many people I offended or bothered. I went full force, bro. I pendulum swung from barely talking about it to saying whatever the fuck I wanted on, bro. I got really aggressive really quick. And honestly, dude, it worked. And I'm not suggesting anyone do that, right? Because the current fucking world of Facebook and online is we're now pieces of shit. Hey, I mean, I think they call us garbage men now for supporting Trump or whatever you feel. But like, you'll get attacked for it. Like, I didn't get attacked for it. People supported me because I was very strong with my stance. But the roadblock there was like, I thought I cared, but I really didn't. And the reason you're like, hey, it seems like some of these things come naturally. It's because, bro, I truly don't care. Like, I truly do not give a single fuck. Like, I care about my family. I care about taking care of them. I care about my relationship with you. But the thing is, like, if I put something out there online and someone dislikes me or they don't want to pay me because of it, or a client like says, hey, I don't want to work with you this, dude, cool. Take your fucking money somewhere else. Go do something else. I'm not going to hate you, but it's okay because every person I lose, I gain someone else. Right? Every individual that leaves my ecosystem allows room for another person who's meant to be here. And so what that did is it pushed out the people that weren't meant to be here and it brought the people in that were supposed to be. Right? And because of that, it looks like things are easy and natural, but it comes from a place of like, I had to just wing it and not give a shit. And I still don't give a shit and I still wing it. But I started to take note of what worked and what didn't work. What types of posts get more attraction? What types of things made people want to buy something from me? And it's just like going to the gym. If you find like a certain bicep curl works and it grows your biceps, like fucking do more of it, right? So like I did that exact same thought process with branding, with what I put out there. Like I know what boxes I need to check if I want someone to feel a certain way. I know what I need to put out there if I want to make money, right? And I lean into those both very, very heavy. And if the result doesn't come, it's like, well, dude, whatever. Like I'm still doing it. So like, I don't know if that answers your question, man, but a little bit of story I feel like is always fun.
Yeah, it does. It does. I mean, the ability to not give a fuck, it is a really important skill to have, especially like if you want to start a business, if you want to build a brand, because you want to surround yourself with the people who are thinking like you at the end of the day. And the only way to surround yourself with those kind of people is to express yourself as you are, if that makes sense, right? But
Yeah.
I know from personal experience that it is not as easy as it sounds, just stop giving a fuck. So like, if you could give like one piece of advice, like what someone can do to kind of start building up that skill for themselves.
Yeah, it's a good question, man. Um, like if you're fearful of it, take the time right now and write down why you're fearful of it. Right? What are you scared of? Write it down, dude. Just write it down. Right? What are you actually scared of? And then write on that, dude. Type on it, text on it. I don't care what it is. Like get it on paper, get your thoughts out. Because usually the fear you have is your own limiting belief. It's your mind holding you back. And so like any fear someone has about posting, about putting themselves out there, about not giving up, about saying this or thing, their fears are usually false, dude. Like if you can fully explain to me, and anyone that's listening to this, you can send it to me. You can send me what your fear is and help justify it. If you can convince me that it's a logical fear, I'll agree with you. Most of the time it's not, dude. They say that fear is the thing that holds us back from everything, right? Fear is the thing that stops us from growth. Fear is the thing that stops us from great relationships. Fear is the thing that holds everyone back. I mean, there's a reason most people work a 9-to-5 job. Everyone wants to do what we do. Everyone wants to, but they're scared it's not going to work for them. They're scared they're going to get scammed. They're scared people are going to look at them different. And it's like, okay, bro, none of that has to do with you, though. It has to do with how everyone else views you or how you believe they view you, right? Because they probably don't actually feel that way about you, right? The reality of the situation is, and here's my real piece of advice, is no one below you, or let me rephrase that, no one above you will ever judge you. Right? I see a lot of new business owners and a lot of people doing stuff in the space. And I'm like, good the fuck for you. As long as you're doing it ethically and honestly, good for you, dude. Like, however I can help. I will never judge someone below me, right? Because I've been there, bro. Like, I've seen it. I've done it. I've walked that walk. I know what it's like, dude. I'm here to offer help. But like, the fear you have is not fucking real. It's not justifiable. It's in your mind. It's not in other people's mind. People don't care about you as much as you think they do. That person that comments on your shit every fucking 2 weeks, they're actually no one to you. If they unfriend you, then what? Like, good fucking riddance, dude. Like, whatever. So it's like the fear you have is stuck in your mind. It's like they say growth happens outside of your comfort zone, and fear is on the other side of that, right? And once you get out of your comfort zone, it's fucking scary. But guess what, dude? You expand your capacity, you expand your reach, you expand your brand, and you become better because of it.
So I have a question regarding that actually. What was your biggest limiting belief that you had on your way up?
I didn't think I was worth it, man. Like I talked about my story of addiction. I didn't think I was worthy of success because of what I've done. Like I had to deal with some shit, dude. Like getting out of the back end of using a bunch of drugs and the shit I'd done, the things I had to deal with internally, like the things I had done to family members, to loved ones, to people around me, to friends. Like I didn't think I deserved any type of success. So I would legitimately hold myself back from it. Like I would block things good from happening because I didn't think that I was worthy. I was like, man, there's no way with what I've done, I deserve to have any of those things. I'm going to go get a bunch. But like for me to actually like have a business that does what it does now, I would have blocked that shit years ago. I would have blocked it just because like of what I've done. Like I had a certain viewpoint in my brain of who I was, and I consistently viewed myself as that person from 10 years ago, 11 years ago. That's who I saw myself as, right? I didn't realize that a caterpillar goes into a cocoon and comes out a butterfly, and they no longer see the caterpillar anymore. They look in the mirror and they see what they've become, right? I would always see myself as that caterpillar that had done fucked up shit. And because of that, I would stop myself from seeing the reality of who I actually could be.
So what exactly changed?
Dude, lots of fucking it up, little bits of growth up, lots of conversations. But the number one thing, man, is just being around the right people, right? Filling my circle with people who are better than me, right? I should never be the biggest person in any room. Physically, I will be the biggest person in the room. I'm good with that. But like in terms of what I can do, my business, my ability, you will never catch me in a room where I'm the biggest person unless they have me out there speaking, right? Then I'm happy to be. And even then, I wanted to make sure I speak somewhere where there's someone better than me so I can learn, at least in some area. So like I had to get around people who would lift me up, right? Who would call me out on my bullshit, who would tell me what they truly see me being destined for, who would listen to my thought process, who would listen to my bullshit and tell me that my bullshit was actually fake, right? They're like, that is not real, and would tell me what I actually can do. I had a really good conversation with Taylor Welch last October, November, that changed my life, man. We had a conversation. Is it cool if I tell the story? Do you care?
Yeah, of course.
I had a conversation with a man, and I thought I was just going to go help him with his business because we worked together in the past. And all I thought was like, oh, dude, I'll bring in an extra 10 grand a month. It's going to be great. He'll send me some referrals. And at the end of the 2-hour conversation of us having a cigar, he's like, who taught you this stuff? I'm like, no one. I was like, I just listen and learn and observe, and I fuck things up. And he's like, you don't think like a normal human being does. He's like, you see things quite a bit different. I see how you think, and I'm in a similar way. But dude, he's like, if you were stock, I would put a lot of money into you right now. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, brother, you don't realize what you're about to do. He's like, you have no idea. He's like, I see it, but it's because I've been in this industry for a while and I see all the signs. I've been in the business world for a while. He's like, you are going to be an unstoppable human in a couple of years. He's like, I don't want you to work with us. I don't want your agency to work with us. I want to partner with you. I want to give you part of my company for a part of yours. And at that point, my company was doing like 40 grand a month. His company's doing like 400,000. So I'm like, fuck yeah, bro. You could have a percent of mine for a percent of yours. That's cool. I'm about to just like give you something and get 10x back. It's like, why would I not? Right. And now we look a year later, my business is consistently above 200. Like we might even do 300 in November. I don't know. Maybe somewhere around there, somewhere in the 200 to 300 range. So like I'm already at where he was at last year. And it's not that his business hasn't grown, but like he saw it. Right. I wouldn't be surprised if we're doing $1 million a month by next year. With what I see, what we have, what we've done with literally barely trying, everything that he said is true. And even if it wasn't true, right, just think about the premise of someone injecting hope and belief into you. That's some powerful shit. You don't need to actually have it, but if you believe you have it, you will do it. Right. So regardless of if he was hyping me up or not, I don't think he was. I'm going to take all the fucking like pats on the ass I can get. It injected belief into myself, right? Being around the right people. And because of that, my actions followed.
Yeah, man. And I believe I've been one of the first clients that you had for the hardly selling, for the one-on-ones and all of that. And like you mentioned before, you grew this company from zero to, again, just like you said, 200,000 per month. Can I ask, like, what are the core principles and values that you guys are leading with that allowed you to grow this company as quickly as you did?
And we have 3, actually. Number 1 is be a good human. Be a good human in everything you do, every area, everywhere you show up. At the gas station, on meetings, with clients, with prospects, with your family, be a good human. Number 2 is have fun, right? Because I'm not doing this if I'm not having fun. Just no point to it. Number 3, and this is kind of like our mantra, it's doing good things with great people that's worth doing, right? And those point back to be a good human, and those also point back to have fun. Doing good things with great people that's worth doing. That is our mantra as a business. And like, because of that, right, dude, I build a fuck ton of relational equity with all of our clients. Bro, I text our clients. I was literally texting some clients last night at midnight as the election results were coming in, and we were just talking shit, having a good time. They were hyped up about the markets because of it. Dude, we're fucking brothers, right? Because of that, you know how many referrals have come on the back end of that? Not just from them, but from other people. Like, bro, we talk. You can text me and call me any fucking time. I know you know that. You could probably exercise it a little bit better. But like, I do that with everyone, man. And it's not just because like I want to be a great fucking person fulfilling, but it's the number 1 principle of be a good human. Like spend time with good people, do good things, have fun. And because of that, dude, like people are always going to refer individuals over to you. Because if you do good with what you're doing and they like you as a person, they're always going to send people your way. Dude, like we're December, like projected for December, and this is based off of numbers and what we have coming in, we're going to do somewhere around 300K. Zero marketing. Barely any sales calls, dude. We had some marketing out there that didn't convert. We actually brought nothing in from marketing. We turned it off. But we'll have gone from 0 to 300K cash in what is that, fucking 15 months? And it's that some businesses have grown faster. But dude, we did it with zero fucking marketing, barely any sales calls, barely any lead gen, right? It's very simple. Be a good human, do good at what you're doing, and then have fun with it. Right. And it's not that everyone can do those things and grow a business to this state. It's not that this is a huge business. Right. But if you do those things
and you have a good product on top of that, I mean,
yeah, the product's good. Right. We're okay at what we do. I think we can be better. Like I see areas every day where I'm like, dude, we need to do better. Like we're fixing the entire management community. You'll see in a couple of weeks how much better it gets. But like when you do those things, it's like people like you. And when people like you and you're servicing them well, you're going to be taken care of.
Yeah, man, can we switch gears for a second? And let me ask you this, because to build a successful business like you did and lead the teams in the way that you're leading, you definitely need to have not only proper mindset, but also a proper discipline. And in a lot of your content, you often talk about the resilience and pushing past your own limits. So where do you find that mental strength to maintain that drive day in and day out?
Oh, dude, you ready for this fucked up answer?
Yes, I am.
I actually enjoy inflicting pain and discomfort on myself. That's why I bodybuild, right? Because it's almost like a source of punishment, right? Because like of all the shit I've done, and it's not that I'm like, oh my God, I'm sulking in this shit. But for a while, the gym, I would punish myself in the gym, dude. I would like want not to hurt myself, but I would go so hard because the pain of the gym made me stop thinking, right? Because I think a lot. My brain is insane. And so like I knew pushing past that threshold would calm things internally, right? So like I've kind of built that into my day that I actually am very calm when I push past the threshold because I know it brings my focal point into one place. When I'm in the gym, dude, and I'm squatting fucking 9,000 pounds, now like 3, 4, 500 pounds. And I'm at that threshold, bro. Nothing else matters. I don't think about anything else. I don't see anything else. Nothing else is on my mind. It's like pure fucking zoned in. And so like, it's the same thing with business. There's a goal oriented with me. Same with sales. There's a goal oriented with it that I become so hyper focused that nothing else matters. Is it healthy? No, not at all. Can you turn it off though? Yes, right? This is where that ideology, the black mamba, comes into play. You're always chasing it, but you have to have a cage inside. You have to be able to cage that motherfucker even though it doesn't shut off, right? And a lot of us have it, bro. You have it. I've seen how hard you work. I know what you do. I see you on a day-to-day basis, bro. I know. We've talked enough. You're nuts. You'll get up at 5 a.m. and you'll work until fucking midnight if you need to. If it accomplishes the goal, you'll do it, right? And then the thing is, as you're going to bed, you're probably still thinking about the 3 things that need to be done tomorrow, right? Some of us have it, dude. And it's that. It's not just about pushing past the threshold. It's that thing inside of us that we have to fucking finish the job no matter what, and we have to hit the goal, right? And that's what it is. And I know for me, when I push past that threshold, it allows me to hyper focus on the goal, on the thing, right? Putting on muscle, growing the business, closing more deals, making more money, making this team better, whatever it is like, I know when I'm fully in it, I'm not just fully in it physically, my brain is in it. Because you give me downtime, I lose.
Yeah, man, with you, it seems like everything goes back to fitness. So can I ask like what kind of role the fitness and bodybuilding played in shaping your mindset and approach to life as well as business?
The more you put in, the more you get out, right? Really simple. You put in more effort, energy inside and outside of the gym, you're going to get a better result. It's the one thing that like you can't take away from me, no matter what you try or do, right? I am 100% in control of the outcome. No one can change that. Not a single person. No matter what you say, do, or feel, I can progress on that no matter what happens. If something bad happens at home, I still have that area to focus on. Yeah, I'm still in control, right? And because of that, it helped me see the more I put in, not just while I'm there, but outside of it, the more I get out on the back end, right? And it's just been ingrained into my head, inputs equal outputs, right? The more you put in, the more you get out. And like, it's become true in sales and business as well. If you want more, you just need to fucking do more, right? And you'll get to a place where you can't do any more, right? It's very common. Well, what the fuck do we do next? Well, then you just need to be better, right? Then you need to be better with the more that you're doing. And then you optimize and you start doing more with being better. And then you get better again, right? And it's a continuous process of more, max it out, then refine the process, make it a little bit more efficient, and then do more again with the new efficient process. And when you continuously do this, you become a fucking beast, right? Think about it in a sales sense, right? I can make more dials. I can talk to more people. Well, hey, man, if I learn this objection handling tactic, I can close more deals and make more money in less time. I do it, I learn it, then I do it more. And when I can't do it anymore, I find the next thing and I add the next. And it's a continuous, bro. It's like a stair step up, right? You get on this level, you stabilize. You get on this level, you stabilize. And then every time you do, you just get better, faster, and more efficient with everything you do. And like, that's where most people lose, is they're just not willing to do that. They just want more, and they're just not willing to do more. They're not willing to be better. They just want to pay someone to give it to them. But the reality of it is that shit fucking takes time. If you can pay someone for help, they'll speed it up.
With no more inputs, it doesn't work like that.
No, it doesn't. I mean, for some people, dude, it does. Like, I won't lie. Like, some people, they could fucking just throw something at a wall and it works. Doesn't make any sense. I'm not one of those people. Doesn't work like that for me.
And in a lot of your content, you mention family as your core motivation. So can I ask, like, how has becoming a father influenced your approach to business as well as to life?
100%, dude. Becoming a dad has fundamentally changed who I am as a human, right?
In what way, though?
Well, nothing else matters. Nothing's that serious, right? Because when we're in the day-to-day, like, it's really easy to get lost in it. And it's really easy to let it consume every part of you outside of it. Dude, when I leave this office, my son doesn't give a fuck how hard my day was. My son does not give a fuck how much I worked that day. All he knows is dad is out. Dad is home from work. Dad is done. Right? So like, what do I care more about? Getting more done here or spending time with the fucking human I created? Right? Because when I get out and he smiles, bro, like, fuck everything in business. There's something special about creating a human and seeing him smile at you and seeing him happy to see you. Right? I want to give everything I can for him. Like, my goal, I've shared this before and I'll share it again. This house that we're building, I want to have it paid off in 2 years. Right? Why? Right? Everyone's like, oh, that's stupid. Like, my business partner, he'll try and convince me otherwise, because he's like, well, you could just take that money, invest it, and make more, and then you actually don't need to worry. But the reason I want to do it is because I don't want to have to work. I want to, like, if I want to take fucking Thursday and Friday off to go hang with my son at the park, I want to fucking do it. Right? I don't want to have to work. I want to choose to work. Right? I want to choose to do things. And as much as we say, yes, we're choosing right now, neither of us could stop what we're doing. Because like, we have bills, we have expenses. So I want everything I own paid off in 2 years so I can choose to work, right? What I want to do when I want to do it. Now, yeah, it's going to be slightly different than I imagine it, for sure, right? Let's be real with ourselves. But there's power in the ability to do what when you want to do it, right? What you want when you want to do it. And that's what I want, right? I'm working and doing this because I want to spend as much time with him humanly possible. If he wakes up one day and he says, Dad, I want to do this, it's been on my mind for a while, I want to have the ability to tell people on my team, move my shit, I'm not coming in today. I can't right now, right? Could I? Sure. But ultimately, like, that might affect me in a month or two from pissing off people or clients. So like, it's affected me because it's helped me realize that nothing here actually is that serious. Everything there is that serious. I don't feel emotion about anything I do at work. I'm a non-emotional human. I think I fucked my brain chemistry up from all the drugs. With him, I feel all the emotions, all the highs, all the lows. He helps me realize that I'm actually a human and I'm not as fucked up as I think I am. Right? He helps me see that. And like, when you feel that special, like, bond, similar to probably how you feel with your wife, right? It's like, you will do anything to protect that and give to that, right? There's something special about that feeling that, not everyone has kids, so not everyone knows. But it's similar to a bond with your wife. It's a little bit different, but it's the same thing. You'll give anything at any moment to help them out. You'll drop anything or go anywhere. You'll fucking swim through a fucking mountain of sharks. Or you'll fucking, whatever you need to do, you will do it for them, right? So like, it's changed me because it's helped me see that, like, I'm a human. I'm not as fucked up as I thought I was, but I'm also in charge of that human. I'm also in charge of his happiness, his values, how he grows up. And it's a hell of a role, man, because we're in a fucked up world. And truth be told, I want to raise one hard motherfucker. He might not be liked by everyone, but he's going to be the one running those motherfucking teams. He's going to be the one running circles around everyone. He will be the individual that people listen to because he's not fucking running the rabbit race that everyone else is, the rat race everyone else is. Right? That's important to me, building the future of not our society, but my family, right? And the future of my family is not financial. It's who they end up being, right? Because I can make money and give them money. That doesn't change them. If I instill values and principles into them, that changes them, right? Give a man to fish, feed him for the night. Teach a man to fish, feed him for life. Give my son money. He's good. Teach him the principles and values behind doing whatever he wants and being a good human. He's set for life. That changes the world.
Giving money is only creates a solution for the short term, but instilling those principles and values and certain behaviors, this is something that's gonna kind of shape him for the whole all of his life, right?
Yeah, I don't want to change the world, man. I want to change his world and how he views it, and so I will do anything to do that. And parents understand me, and I don't say this. I know you don't have kids. It's not like, oh my God, you would understand if you have kids. But like when you have a kid, there's something that switches in your brain where, bro, if he needed me right now, I would exit off this meeting. I love you, bro, but like I would exit this meeting. I would leave a meeting where a client was paying us $1 million a year if he needed me if something happened. Like, fuck off, I'm out. Right? There's something different that happens when you have a kid. It's like I've created this thing. I've created this thing that follows me around, screams, cries, but like this thing unconditionally loves me and just sees me as like fucking Superman. It's like the coolest thing. Yeah. It's a cool time, dude. I suggest it. So all men listening to this, don't pull out tonight. Give it a go. Give it a whirl. If there's 3 of you, I suggest it. If there's 10 of you, I also suggest it.
Well, I am not a parent myself, but I can only assume that whenever you are a parent, you are thinking on the longer time horizons, right? So for you, like, what kind of legacy do you hope to create for your son? Like, if you don't mind me asking, of course, and how exactly does that guide your decisions today?
So the only legacy I want to leave for him is him knowing that I did everything possible to give him the best life possible and teach him the values that I want to instill in him. None of that has anything to do with money. None of that has anything to do with power. None of that has anything to do with anything he could physically receive, right? Kids don't understand money. They don't understand gifts. They understand love. They understand care. They understand time, right? So the legacy I want to leave with him is him knowing, number one, that I did everything possible to spend as much time with him, to be there as much as I can with him, but also to teach him how to be a fucking man, right? That's what I think is most important if you have a son, teaching him to be a fucking man. Very important tool, right? You see society right now, we're fucked. We're fucked. Yep. So the legacy I want to leave on him is like, right? He needs to know that dad did everything possible and he will do anything possible. Bro, if I had to stay up 22 hours a day to make sure he was taken care of and sleep 2 hours, I would do it. There's no question in my mind.
I believe you would. Yeah.
All right. So like, that's the premise. I want him to know that, but I don't just want him to know that. I don't want to tell him. I want him to see it. I will prove it because actions mean everything. Words are fucking useless.
Yeah, bro. So we are on the top of the hour. So just to close it out, can I ask, like, what kind of advice would you give to someone who feels stuck in life, or maybe to someone who's struggling to find some sense of purpose in life?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the first thing is, man, is like, whatever you're feeling right now is not real.
Okay.
It's real in the limitations of your mind, right? There's really no rules to this. There are laws to life, but there really are no rules, right? There's morals, there's ethics, there's laws, but no one's telling you what you can or cannot do. And as soon as you actually understand that, not just feel it, not just know it, but as soon as you understand that, like, you'll start to realize the feelings you have about being stuck, about being isolated, about not knowing your purpose is 100% in your mind. It is not reality, right? If I can do what I've done, and it's not that I've done anything spectacular. I went from someone that should be dead to owning a business that's doing well into 7 figures, maybe 8 next year. Like, great, good for me. But if I can do it, like, there's nothing stopping anyone else. Like, there's really not. I'm not special. My IQ is not 500, right? I didn't get anything handed to me. I wasn't fucking served up like a great dish, great cards. If I can do it, you can do it. But the whole premise of doing it is not so much just I'm going to go fucking do a bunch of things. It's understanding the core principle that there are no rules to any of this shit, right? Follow the laws, follow your morals, follow your ethics, but there's no rules to how you do anything, right? Make sure you're acting in accordance with what you believe, what you value, but also do whatever the fuck you want, right? Because if you don't, someone else is going to do it. There's people out there dumber than you, less educated than you, just doing way better than you because they just decided to do what they wanted. They believed in themselves, right? And that blew my fucking mind years ago because I was like, I'm a pretty smart dude. And I saw some really dumb people doing better than me, right? All they did is they knew the secret that there really aren't any rules to this. There's just limitations that you set in your mind, and limitations are not real.
The problem is that the smart people are tend to overthink shit.
Yeah. 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 You'll overthink it for sure, but like, take action, right? Yeah. Think about it. Just do it. Like, just do it. If I want to try something, I just fucking do it, right? I'm not talking about like anything that'll harm me, but if I want to try something in business, I do it. Bro, we flew out to an event 2 weeks ago in Orlando, this like expo. I was like, bro, this might work. We're going to get a bunch of leads. It fucking didn't work, right? We actually left the expo after 2 hours and went to Universal instead because it didn't work. I was like, I'm going to try this, dude. You have to try shit, dude. Like, you have to be willing to fucking fail 99 times to get it right once. Because if you do get it right once, it's only that one time that matters, right? No one remembers the 99 times you failed. They remember the one time you succeeded.
That is true.
Dude, go look up fucking Elon Musk's business. Go look up Jeff Bezos. Go look up any successful entrepreneur and start looking at the businesses they failed on. Funny part is they're there. You just don't fucking know about them. Right? They just decided that they're going to keep going. They're going to keep fucking shit up. They're going to continue taking action because action's what actually wins it.
Going back to the expo, I got to tell you guys, your booth on the expo was amazing. You know, I've seen the picture on the Facebook. It was like, you took the branding literally.
Bro, after we decided to leave, we took all our stuff. I was like, I'm not leaving this here. I paid like $500 for this fucking banner. I was like, I'm not leaving this shit here. I was like, I'll just hang it on my fucking wall or something, dude. But like, someone took a picture and they're like, oh, they lived up to their purpose. And I'm like, you're damn fucking right we did, dude. And I went on a bunch of rides instead. It was great.
Yeah, man. So just to close it out, can I ask, like, is there anything specific that you would like to share with the audience, with the men who are listening to this podcast right now? Like one piece of advice directly from your heart.
For men. This is specifically for men.
Yes, this is Ascension Brotherhood for a reason, specifically for men.
Are there any restrictions on what I say?
Nope.
Awesome. I propped it up really
nice. Say whatever the fuck you want.
Okay, I propped it up really nice, so it better actually be good, man. Like, just grow a fucking pair and do it. Whatever you're thinking about doing, just do it. You know, the reality of it is, everyone listening to this, you have never been closer to dying. Sounds fucked up. It sounds a little more morbid, right? But you've never been closer to dying. You are the closest you will be right now, as I say this, to your death. You've never been closer. Grow some fucking balls and do it. Like, whatever you're thinking about doing, ask the girl out, start the business, quit your job and go for this, apply somewhere else, move to a different state. Like, just do it, man, because like every piece of growth that you're looking for is on the other side of your comfort zone. And will the thing work out? Like, maybe not. It doesn't matter. But the thing is, like, we're starting to build this muscle of doing difficult shit that may or may not work out. And from it not working out, you will learn, hey, if I do this way, it doesn't work. Let me try it a different way. Great analogy, and I'll end on this, man. When you learn to ride a bike, you know, the first time you got on, you probably turned the handlebars way too far to the left and you flipped over, right? Well, did you give up? No, you fucking didn't, right? What did you do? You just realized, okay, I can't turn them too far to the left, so I'm going to turn them too far to the right. Oh, shit, I flip over again. I can't do that either, right? And what you do is you fail multiple times until you figure it the fuck out. But if you never get up to fail, you never actually get what you want. If you never give yourself a chance to fail or fuck up, you will never get what you want, and you will constantly live in fear. You will constantly have less, and you will constantly feel inferior, but it's because of you. No one's coming to fucking save you. You need to do it yourself.
Yeah. This is actually one of the biggest beliefs that I live by is I don't believe in failure, you know? Even if I do something and it doesn't work, it doesn't mean I fail. It just means I found one more way that simply doesn't work.
Yeah, you're fucking bound to get it right if you keep trying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can throw a dart at a dartboard a fucking million times. You're bound to hit a bullseye one of those times. As long as you're throwing it in the right direction. It might take you 1,000 fucking tries, but you'll get it, right? But if you never throw it, or you just throw it once, you're at a really fucking big disadvantage.
Yeah. And guys, if you want to throw your shot at high ticket sales, Dean has a community called Hardly Selling and Sales Collective, $500 per month. If you want to get into the high ticket sales, that's your shot.
Yeah, feel free to join. Feel free to not join. I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter. We can help you if we can help you. I will never sell you anything. I'll probably tell you in DMs what it is, and if you want to buy it, you can buy it. And if you don't, I'm not going to bother you. Like, I don't. It's like, it's okay, dude. Like, the way we do it is different, and it will be. But dude, I appreciate you having me on, man. Seriously. Hopefully, this is my first episode, and a reminder for anyone that heard the beginning of the podcast. Anyone that comes after me is last. If you're not first, you're last. So thank you for allowing me to be first, because there's no trophies for anything else.